My name is Audrey Maddock. Well, it was. I had lived in Oxford for my whole life, living a peaceful life in a peaceful home. But a disease came suddenly to affect my existence, and as my feelings and emotions disappeared, my life became dull and bland. I would have never imagined this disease to be the cause of my misery, and even less the cause of my last breath. I couldn't keep the story to myself any longer, as the loneliness ate me alive, as ironic as it is. So please, to anyone reading this, enjoy the story of my life, of my decay, and of my death. It was a Wednesday night. The sky was rocking the people to sleep as I laid awake in my bed, waiting for the Sandman to bring me a dream. But suddenly, I heard a knock on my front door. Who could it be, especially at this hour? As I opened the door, no one seemed to be in sight, only a small sheet of paper laying on my porch. As I looked closer, I realized the paper was sealed with a blood-red crest. Carefully, I opened the suspect document, only to find out a testimony of a certain Mr. Oxford. I had been bequeathed the mysterious castle of said person, known in town for its rumored ghosts and spirits. When I stepped out of the cart, I felt an icy breeze entering my coat. I watched as the vehicle disappeared inside the forest of dark trees surrounding the castle. The night was stormy, and my hair was floating around me with the wind, my clothes soaked in with the driving rain. It was at these exact moments that I first saw the cursed place. I looked up, and my eyes caught sight of a seemingly abandoned castle. The plants around had been dead for a long time, their leaves a purplish brown, as if no soul had crossed the land in the past millennia. A murder of crows was hovering around. The mansion was enormous, slightly tilted forwards, and I had the feeling that it could crumble down on me at any moment. But that was not the reason for my astonishment. For the first time in a decade, I was feeling. What I was feeling didn't matter, neither the fear, nor the dread, not even the terror. My disease had left me heartless, almost lifeless. But for once, the emotions were filling my body, my mind, from the bottom of my feet to the top of my head, from the edges of my ears to the lashes of my eyes. For once, I felt whole. Oh, how much I had missed those feelings.
After a few moments spent in the manless still, I shook myself back to the moment and stared at length at the dwelling. For less than a second, a pale silhouette appeared at the window, but a blink of an eye later, and it was gone. I must have imagined it. Then, the gigantic abandoned doors opened by themselves, as if inviting me to enter the place. I ignored the vivid beating of my heart and took my first step inside. As soon as I had crossed the gate to hell, I felt it closing back behind me. Too late. I wanted to run back, I wanted to scream, but I did neither. The castle attracted me more than it repelled me, and I wanted to feel again. The endless hall was oppressive, and I could feel the haughty ancient portraits hung upon the walls staring down at me judgingly. As I was noticing the crimson fire roaring in the fireplace, I felt a sudden presence by my side. "Welcome to your new accommodation." I turned back in panic and found myself in front of the pale figure I just seen some moments ago. With a start, I noticed that it was not only pale, but translucent. Who are you?" I said in a weak breath. "Who I am doesn't matter. The most important thing today is your presence here." The emaciated ghost had an ecstatic face. I felt a surge of terror. What I had just walked into. "No, you can't leave," he said. "Why did you bring me here?" I said with a shaky voice. "You were the only one able to free me, and now it's your turn." I was in utter shock. My turn to what? To carry the burden of the malediction. I was locked in this damned place for centuries. I have waited for you all my life, Audrey, but here you finally are. My chest felt oppressed. Why me? Your disease. My disease. We are linked. You were chosen as the next carrier of the malediction of Oxford. No, what was this all about? It's too late, Audrey. You cannot escape. I didn't have the time to run away, to move, or even to scream. I felt the coldness of a blade, a sword cutting right through my heart. I fell, lifeless, on the lacquered floor, my blood spilling around me. As life escaped from me, I heard the sound of hell. A diabolical laugh, but it was a mannequin from the cursed blade itself. I woke up in a sweat, still feeling my heart pounding in my chest. What a horrible nightmare I just had! I was startled by the exactness of its images in my mind. It was not the first time I had had such a dream about my malady. I relaxed, then got out of bed and headed towards the bookshelf in front of me. I read a few titles and moved forward my hand to pick a novel named The Curse of Oxford. I felt like something was wrong. I realized I wasn't hung. Then, I caught sight of my hand. It was translucent.